All rise. Sullivan County Commission meeting now in session. Chairman John Gardner presiding.
Thank you, Corporal Joyner. Welcome everyone to the Sullivan County rezoning hearing, May 2026, to be followed by the regular scheduled work session of the Sullivan County Commission. I invite you all to remain standing to the end of the pledge by Corporal Joyner. First, recognize Commissioner Crawford for our invocation.
Let's bow for prayer. Lord Jesus, it is with grateful hearts that we come before you this evening, just to thank you for all that you've done for us, the abundant life that you promised and have provided. Watch over us, care for us, give us clarity of mind for thought tonight as we make resolutions and judgment for the betterment of our county. All of this I pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
When the board opens, please record your presence. Has every member recorded their presence? Madam Clerk?
18 present, 6 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have a quorum. First order, resolution to consider amendments to the Sullivan County zoning plan, sponsored by Commissioner Cowden, seconded by Commissioner Hayes. Is there any discussion on the resolution before we open the board? Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on item 1, requiring 13 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change your vote? Madam Clerk?
18 yes, 6 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of votes cast, the resolution is approved. The Sullivan County rezoning hearing is in session. Before I recognize Mr. Meade from the well, let's allow Mr. Meade all his information on the amendment. We will open the floor for discussion on each amendment, and if anyone here from the public wishes to speak on the amendment, we will recognize them as well. Mr. Meade.
Thank you. Case number 1 is a rezoning request from Raleigh and Mary Mitchell for a split zoning from A1 to B4, located at 3345 Highway 11W. This went in front of the Sullivan County Regional Planning Commission, where it received a positive recommendation, has a positive recommendation from staff, and there is neighborhood opposition to this request.
You've heard the explanation on the amendment. The floor is open for discussion. Anyone seek recognition? Commissioner Locke.
What's the opposition?
Community opposition, I wrote all of it down. It's in your packet. So you'll see this page right here. These are the phone calls that I received. Some people are opposed to it on the basis that they don't want commercial out that way. There have been some complaints about ancillary factors such as already tiny home being used at the top upper portion. I will say that section is not being requested for rezoning, so it's a bit outside the scope of this rezoning request. Yes, sir.
Commissioner Haynes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicants have went into my campaign, so I'll have to abstain from comment.
If I may, I need to confer if that's actually something you can abstain for cause for. Attorney Street, is that something, is that something you can abstain for cause or just abstain? Because if we abstain for cause, that reduces the necessary majority by one. So does that qualify?
I think that.
Okay, just make sure we'll do it right. Thank you. Anyone else seek recognition? Mr. Mees, anyone here from the public wish to speak to them? Oh, excuse me, Commissioner Ward, I'm sorry, I didn't see that, double question. Commissioner Ward. Was all that property up on that hill, wasn't it auctioned off here a couple of years ago?
I'm unsure of the sales record. I know the history of the property, it was a vineyard at one point, and that's where you'll see that odd kind of M1 strip that goes up there in the middle. I believe they rezoned that, or you all rezoned that for purposes of distribution, so they have their distribution network, but as far as sales history, I'm not sure, sir.
All right, thank you. Yes. Mr. Mees, anyone here that wishes to speak to the amendment?
Hello, everyone.
If you will, introduce yourself and your address, thank you, for our clerk.
My name is Mary Mitchum, and our address is 408 Fairway Estates Drive in Blumpville. This is my husband.
Jason Mitchell.
Thank you so much for allowing us to be here today. I just am asking for the rezoning. I feel like the venue is great for the community and bringing in the residents. It's great for the local community, bringing in revenue. Forgive me, I'm nervous talking up here. First and foremost, everything that we do at the Barndo, the event center, would be to glorify God first. And we just really would like to provide something for the community to come in that's affordable for weddings, events, birthday parties, and the revenue that would be brought in from out of state. The hotel motel tax, we definitely would recommend people coming in for that locally. I'm not quite sure what else to say. You know.
We've grown roughly 5 or 6 of our adjoining neighbors to speak on our behalf as well.
Does anyone have any questions? Thank you all for being here. Staying here, I said that can change. Somebody may have a question later. Anyone else seek recognition? Do we have a public comment list on this particular zone? Mr. Mead, there's someone behind you there. Okay. Clerk, you will introduce yourself.
My name's Alonzo Mullins. I'm Jason's next door neighbor, 104 Lawson Drive. And I have no problem with what he's going to do there. I think he's done a great job over in a great neighborhood.
Thank you, sir. Everyone that signed the public comment rezoning, is that for this specific one? Okay. I'll just start at the top. Thank you. Rick Bolt. You'll introduce yourself, your name and address, sir. Thank you.
Rick Bott, 3120 Highway 11W. Long and short, there's a lot of back history, but I won't go down that path. I will simply add that one parcel, one owner, 3 zones, A1R1, M1, and now an application for B4. That is advantage of the owner and to the detriment of the neighbors. That is the very definition of spot rezoning. I don't know how else I can say it. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Anyone seek recognition? Mr. Scott, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Linda Robbins.
My name is Linda Robbins, 267 Hooker Road. I order initials, and I wanted to come in support of them. I know probably all of you have seen the building and how beautiful it is, and so it's visually an enhancement to the county. But beyond that, I want to speak about job opportunities, and just very briefly tell you why that matters to me. I worked for over 30 years at the penicillin facility in Bristol, Tennessee. And for years, that facility provided augmentin and amoxil to the nation and other countries. And we didn't have any problem with them. We had no fears about jobs. Later on, as generic intrusion came, I don't like speaking. You know, any industry has its challenges, but in the pharmaceutical industry, you have special ones because for penicillin, you can only make it there. You can't make anything else. You know, penicillin. And so when generic came along, and it's not a maintenance drug, it's for infection, so it's on occasion, so you have a hard time selling enough. But so in later years, we fought really hard to save those jobs, and a lot of you are probably aware of that. And we were successful. The plan is ongoing, and it's under U.S. Antibiotics now, and I'm very, very happy about that. But I'm very sensitive to jobs are dynamic, and constantly, you know, people constantly worry about job opportunities and for families, and we want to keep our families here and have our kids have opportunities. And so, to me, this venue is an opportunity for our creative citizens, the ones who are musicians. We all know how strong that talent is in this region. And our southern cooks and florists and decorators and all those kinds of job opportunities, photography, art, are something that this family is they're entrepreneurs and they're good at it. And they're providing that opportunity. And I just think that we should never say no to something like that or be supportive of a really good opportunity like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Jerry Darnell. Go up, sir.
My name is Dr. Jared Darnell. I'm a Lord vet that lives at 200 Lawson Drive, that joins to Jason Mitchell's property. I came to speak on his behalf tonight. I just like to say I've done vet work from Memphis to Memphis City. I've been doing vet work for 10 years now. Serve a lot of rural communities. Right now I'm serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia. I work on a lot of venues. There's a lot of cows still in agriculture going on at a lot of these venues around here. I can honestly say the venues that I work at, not only does it help the owners of the venue have a second income, but it does serve communities. With opportunities for vendors to come in, most vendors around here are locally owned. You know, private businesses that people are living their American dream kind of do. Without places like this venue, you're sort of kind of stalling out what we can
Boggs.
My name is Shane Boggs. I live at 3326 Highway 11W. And it's hard to add anything to this as they have already done. But our neighbors, they're so accommodating to every one of us and our needs or anything. So I'm just here just to support them and I think it is a good program. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is it James Lawson? Thanks, sir.
Excuse my voice, I've got a touch of laryngitis. My name is James Lawson. I live on 290 Lawson Drive. I was the only one that came here to test the planning commission on the rezoning. And then Mr. Mitchell has had a chance to talk. And all I want to do is be a good neighbor. I stepped away from my job. My mother's in home hospice, and I'm her primary caregiver 24/7. And I just want to be a good neighbor. He's reached out to me and asked me if there's anything he can do to accommodate anything I need, and I return the favor, but just communication. I just want to be a good neighbor, left alone. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Charlie Pittman. Welcome, sir.
My name's Charlie Pittman. My address is 536 Scott Lane, about half a mile from Jason McNeil's property. I'll keep this short and sweet. Like you just said, it'd be hard to add to what everybody has already spoken up here, but these people are giving back to the community, and this venue is an asset to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is it Kenny Jones?
Curry.
Kerry. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Curry Jones, I live at 253 Deck Valley Lane. Been in Sullivan County, in business in Sullivan County for about 44 years. I own the property that joins Jason there on the frontage. The whole front of 11W is like 32 acres. But he's done nothing but made it look better down there as far as I'm concerned. Everything he does is first class. I mean, from pavement to the curbing, you don't have to worry about mud washing out, you know what I mean? I mean, he's first class stuff. And, I've had people come from West Virginia, Kentucky, buy trucks and whatnot. They're like, what's that down there on 11W, man? That's a good looking place, you know? I mean, it's noticeable when you come by. Just not an eyesore, so I think we could use more of that. I'm all for it.
Thanks, sir. Mr. Meade? There. You don't, I don't know why I didn't see you on the front row like that. I'll give you final word on the amendment, sir. If you have anything that you wish to add.
Sir.
Anyone from the commission? Recognize Commissioner Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This rezoning is in our district and may not be perfect rezoning, but I can say one thing, that man is leaving his property better than he found it. He's really done a good job. The neighbors seem to be in favor of this, most of them. So I'm very much in support of this, and I ask everyone else to be also.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes, the map shows, as it was mentioned, it doesn't say it on the rezoning request. Yeah, A1 to B4, but it shows M1 on.
It's a split zoning. The whole property is not being rezoned. The portion that's being rezoned is around it. And when you say, if you look at there.
So is the M1 a manufacturing staying there?
Yes, sir. That's not being requested to be changed.
why would we not change the building and the driveway?
So, lost my back here. So, the area that's being requested for rezoning is up this pipe stem right here, and then just this lower portion where the current building sits. So the M1's not being touched.
So is there a new building on that property that we're not seeing? This building in the photographs, that's not, is that a new building?
Sorry, I'm trying to find it here. The building is not, yes, the building is not located in the window. This was originally permitted as a single-family home and was on the A1 section. So the building that's on the M1 remains separate from this.
What's that building being used for?
I haven't. Anything that's permitted by right within the M1 zoning can be conducted there.
So is it a shared access?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so if you look in this packet right here, it outlines a little bit better of just that location that's outlined with the solid black border is what's being requested for rezoning. The rest of the property will stay A1 or M1. It's in your smaller packet. The presentation packet.
So the remaining 34.67 acres, that belongs to Farm Credit?
No, that belongs to Mr. Mitchell.
Oh, he bought the whole property.
He owns the entire property, so he owns property currently that is zoned A1 and M1 from when it was purchased originally. Now what he's requesting is to come up next to the M1, down in that lower right-hand corner and rezone that portion to B4.
Commissioner Ward. I don't remember this class in college, I swear I don't, but why so many zones right there? Man, when I look at this picture right here, and I know that area very well, I mean, I see a M1, A1, R1, R3, D3.
Speaking overall, that tends to be the nature a little bit of state corridors like that. You'll notice on your land use plan, which is this one, right here, Mr. Ward, it is denoted that front portion of the highway as a planned growth area. So that's something that our previous planning department took a look at and denoted that as an area for expansion along that entire corridor. And you also generally tend to have commercial concentrated on corridors like this because that's the best place for access, trucks, high traffic areas.
So what's that little building gonna be that we're rezoning?
That's going to be the venue. The venue is the black home that sits there in that front right corner.
Okay. And I'm assuming they live in the big house up in the middle.
No, they live off-site.
Okay, what's the big house in the middle of it?
That is the M1 section. So it just has warehouses.
Okay. Anyone else seek recognition?
Thank you, sir. As it appears, this is gonna be manufacturing M1, right?
No, sir.
No?
B4.
I'm sorry?
B4, it's a commercial zone, not a manufacturing district.
Commissioner Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just curious about the tiny homes on the property. Do those fall under hotel and motel tax?
I do not know if they're currently being taxed or not. Our office has not. There is one accessory dwelling unit that's on the rear. Mr. Mitchell can probably speak better of what those are doing there. Planning Commission, he stated that they were constructed on site to be sold.
Anyone else? Commissioner Ward.
When they purchased that, you know when they purchased that property?
No, sir, it should be on the tax record. That's included in the packet.
Okay. Any idea if there were any restrictions on that property when they purchased it?
I have no idea. So we as a department, as land use, we do not enforce these restrictions or covenants, so it's not something we generally dip our toes into on that. Rather, I should say, it's not a legal mechanism for the county to enforce private deed restrictions written into a deed at bill of sale or anything like that.
Anyone else seek recognition? Mr. Meade, you have anything that you wish to add at the end?
No, sir.
Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote. We have one abstention for cause. We'll take the necessary majority down to 12. When the board opens, please cast your vote. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
17 yes, 1 abstention for all, 6 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, case number 1 is approved. Mr. Meade.
Case number 2 is our deferral from April's zoning hearing on the amendment to the Sullivan County zoning resolution, PMD3 district regulations and definitions to be included in the season pay.
You've heard the explanation on amendment number 2. The floor is open for discussion. Anyone seek recognition? Commissioner King.
Look at you, excuse me, in this, you've got, DE battery energy storage system.
Yes, BESS.
Is that, and I've had at least three telephone calls in the last 2 weeks about this. There is companies going around Sullivan County buying property to put these storage units on. Now, I don't have a clue exactly what they are. All I know is they store electricity for a period of time, and then when they need it, then they can take it out.
I won't claim to be an expert on the technology behind it, but yeah, that's the general premise, is they're giant energy storage systems that distribute energy when they need it. Now, I have spoken to, I've only received one call from a battery energy storage company, and I explained to them that this is not a permitted by right use within this district, it's accessory. So what that means is you can't have a standalone battery energy storage system in a PMD3 district. It has to be accessory to whatever the primary use is. The primary use, as it's written, would be crypto mining facilities, data mining facilities, data storage centers.
Okay, so these should be totally different. The battery storage would be different than all these other ones?
Yes, sir. Battery energy storage, I mean, we don't have it explicitly written in anywhere, but I imagine someone right now can come in and they request it. I would direct them towards a PMD2 zone if they wanted it to be standalone.
But I guess where I'm going, there was a fellow that said that he has sold the rights to his property for this.
They haven't communicated with my office.
Well,
That should have been their first stop.
That's why I'm asking. I mean, that's what, he told me about this probably 2 years ago that, they were talking about.
I mean, it very well could be. I know across the country, private equity, these different companies are buying up land in the expectation of data centers or other high energy uses coming into those areas and just reserving that property. They have the capital where they can hold on to something like that.
I guess my next question, the two that I'm familiar with were by TVA substation. Is TVA involved in this also?
In battery energy storage systems?
Yeah.
I imagine as the energy provider, they would have to be, because it would be their grid that they would be utilizing to put energy back in, so.
But that's what, after they store it, then they've got to do something with it, so it gets back into the grid.
Yeah, and again, I'm not an expert at all on technology behind it and how it works. I mean, the reason we wrote it into this district explicitly was a lot of these centers want to have their own on-site battery storage systems that kind of works in conjunction with heat reclamation or any other system of energy capture that they might have, that they can store it themselves and they can utilize it themselves. As almost an alternative to, let's say power goes out or we have a blackout, they don't have to run diesel generators, they can run these battery energy storage systems instead on-site.
Are these systems storing the energy as a chemical?
I have no clue. I mean, batteries use chemicals, so I would imagine that there's some sort of reaction there.
Is this something, I think we need to figure this out before we get people coming in here and setting these things up. I mean, do we need another section that,
I mean, if you wanted to tackle battery energy storage systems as a standalone, I think that's something we can take care of. I don't think it needs to be added into PMD3. They're definitely not as intensive a use or as intrusive of a use as a data center would be. I mean, if someone came in right now and said, I just want to do a singular battery energy storage system, I would direct them towards PMD2 instead of 3. We're sort of reserving this district exclusively for those uses of crypto mining, data storage. I mean, this is something someone could come in right now. If they were in an industrial park or an area that had these planned manufacturing districts, we would allow them to do that.
well, that's another thing. One of them's next to a industrial park.
Yeah, and somewhere in the industrial park may be utilizing it.
No, it's not in it, it's inside of it.
Adjacent.
All right. I think we need to look at these, figure out what we're doing for us to come in and start buying property and want to build. So we'll know what the proper planning and zones are. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, I can walk you through what the procedure would be if one came to us today. They would buy a property, if it was already zoned PMD2, we would require them to have a full site plan. We would require all state, federal, TDEC mandates to be met. It would be like if any other industrial site came in.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Attorney Street? Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Look, I'm a little bit confused, this battery energy storage system that you were asked about. You said it wasn't intended to be used in this zone, but it very clearly includes that in the definition of what goes in that zone.
I said it was an accessory use, not a primary function.
Well, if it's included in the, what's to be included in there, how can you determine it's an accessory use? Sounds like it's principal use to me, the way it's written. Because it specifically lists it along with data centers and.
So if you look under your use table, that's what we reference initially when someone comes in and asks if something's permitted by right within a district. You'll see accessory activities and energy reclamation systems and accessory energy generation systems listed underneath there.
Okay, but I guess what I'm saying is simply as an attorney, if you read under 51051, it says operation and intent of requested PMD3 districts. It specifically names battery energy storage systems. So, I mean, you're gonna have a hard time, or we're gonna have a hard time trying to argue that that's not a principal use.
Well, again, if someone came in, we would direct a battery energy storage system currently into a PMD2 district, which is a less intensive use and would be more widely available to them. So listing it in a higher use category as an accessory is just further in support of that. A battery energy storage system, they're not going to come in and try to request a PMD3, because when they come to this board, we're going to say that's a more intense land use than they actually need to be able to operate.
Well, okay, but I guess what I'm saying is I can see this ended up in my office. I don't think you're gonna win if you argue that that's an accessory use for being, whatever it's called, PMD3, because it's specifically listed as provided under that, so that's gonna be a principal use, but. Commissioner Iverson.
Thanks, Luke. Just a couple of questions on this. So we just got this a little while ago, so to read all these pages has been kind of challenging. So looking at all this highlighted data, is all of that the changes that you presented earlier? What changed since the last time you presented this?
Nothing. Nothing has changed. What is highlighted is what we use to show what's being amended. That's what's being proposed to be added into the zoning resolution.
So from the last time you presented, nothing's changed?
No, so I can't change anything without taking this back to every planning commission.
Okay.
It would have to be reapproved by all of them.
So nothing's been added?
No, sir. I actually literally took it out of your last packet, rescanned it, and put it in this one.
Okay. So the battery energy storage systems that we're talking about now were there last month too?
Commissioner Randall. Look, has there been any requests from anyone to do a battery energy storage system? This is, I probably talked to some people, Commissioner King has, it's kind of a new use of property that I haven't thought about before. Don't really know what the radiation effects are, don't really know what the effects of a battery storage system would be. I wouldn't care to see us pump brakes on this a little bit, maybe take another month. Would you be opposed to that?
No, I have no issue. Now, again, if we are going to change something and we want the moratorium to stay in place, that will have to be extended. And then any changes that come out of that will have to go back to all the regional planning commissions. So we would need another, realistically, 5 months. It's the same timeline as kind of what we had the last time.
That's just a use I've never thought of before, about the battery storage system and the effects that could come from it, so that's just kind of.
And it very well may be a use that fits within PMD3, where it can go with these other really high intense, heat radiation source places. So it may not be a bad thing to have it as a principal use and outline that even sooner. That's it.
I'd like to address it specifically if we could, and maybe at a later date, if that's the will of the commission.
I mean, an alternative option, just to provide it, would be, it's a total up to you all. Like, if you all wanted to pass this, we could bring back another text amendment to add something to it once this is adopted, that regards battery energy systems. My concern is just the timeline of the moratorium that we're on.
We have 6 folks receiving recognition, but do you still have questions, comments, or are you wishing to defer this particular item? Moving forward. Anyone else? I want to recognize Commissioner Cross. Commissioner Cross.
Thank you, Chair. Just a couple of clarifying questions. So we're on the battery energy storage systems. As of right now, Those cannot go in any residential, any B district, anywhere like that. Okay. They are currently included in PMD two, correct?
They would fall under manufacturing, probably in the hazardous, so they could go, PMD two would be policies recommendation.
And then moving forward, whether or not we put them in PMD two, PMD three, but I want to add, PMD three is a more restricted zone. So including them in PMD three, even if someone wanted to, like you said, that would not be an issue, because it's actually even more restrictive than the two. Thank you.
Commissioner Jones and Commissioner Crawford. Commissioner Jones.
When you did your research on this league, I know you looked at some other communities, governments, planning that had already dealt with it. Was this what you found to be the guidelines for creating a TMD three?
Again, I took a hard look at what Northern Virginia has done, what a couple of the western states have done. And it's honestly an amalgamation of what they have, kind of their lessons learned, and then also taking directive from our professional planning organization on what they're recommending we do with these.
The line in here, the PMD three district shall not directly adjoin residential or agriculture zone district. That's going to be hard to do. I mean, you may have an industrial park, but the industrial park is adjoining agriculture and residential in some of the areas that we have.
Yes, sir.
How can you allow something that would be in property adjoining that when it says it can't, shall not directly adjoin? That means the business itself or the industrial park.
So this is really set up to be what's called transitional zoning. It's a zoning theory that you keep your most intense land uses interior to your less intense land uses as you move out. So like if you imagine like an industrial park, you would have the PMD 3 located directly in the middle, and then as it fans out, you would have your PMD 1s and PMD 2s. And I will say, a data center isn't something you necessarily want to rush into. And as Sullivan County is growing, as Networks is trying to identify places for new industrial developments, them having a zoning code to then base their design off of, that they can have a specific site for, to say, if we ever have a data center come in, this is exactly where we want to put it, and it meets all these zoning regulations that keeps the community from having adverse effects from it.
Well, being somewhat familiar with our industrial parks, Granite Flats is pretty full of it. Right? It's full. Our others, I just don't see where we even have that opportunity to do something in one of our industrial parks that we currently have. From sitting on that board, I don't see that a realistic thing. I appreciate your work on it because we asked you to do it, and I don't see waiting any longer to vote on it would help anything. We're at we set a moratorium. We're at almost at the end of that moratorium that we already established. I don't see going on any further, and it was in the what you gave us previously. You just copied this and brought it back to us again. Anybody had opportunity to call you and discuss it with you. I just don't see that, even if we have it, we don't have an industrial park that would allow it that's got the space to put it in. So, thank you.
Commissioner Crawford.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm a little concerned in that our county attorney has shared something with us that is of concern. I don't want to jump into something that's going to come back down the road and bite us. And I think possibly a little little time to digest this more and get a little more feedback from the planning commission as well as Dan Street, I think that would be in order at this point.
I'm gonna recognize Attorney Street and Commissioner Iverson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say I didn't get involved in this because I had a problem with it. The question was asked about these battery energy storage systems, and the response was that it would be allowed in this zone only as an accessory use. And I was simply saying that since that is specifically listed under that zone, that I think you would have a hard time defending that position. But with that said, that doesn't mean that I have any concern whatsoever with this amendment. I don't have any concern with it. I just was saying that if you wanted to take the position that a battery energy storage system could only be used as an accessory use, I think you'd have trouble defending that. But other than that, I don't have a problem with it. I know nothing about this type stuff, so I don't want to mislead the commission.
Commissioner Iverson.
First off, thanks. You've done a lot of work on this, and I really appreciate it. I think that it does need to be very restrictive, and I appreciate we're doing a PDM to let the data centers come. On a side note, though, I think it might have been a copy error as far as doing something front and back, because I've got what we had last month, and it's about half of it.
Really?
It's missed a tremendous amount, like every other page. So I think it might have been copied front instead of front and back. So I really think that there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking if there's anything changed with that, because it was not something we saw last month. And all of the battery storage wasn't in there. There's a lot of things that were just different. So, again, not opposed to it. No, that's why I said, I'm pretty sure it's just like a copy error, because it's front back. Still in favor of it. I still support it. And I still think it's something we as a group need to do. The part that does concern me is that I think we probably need to make sure we all see this. And I mean, we did get it today, but it's a lot. It's a lot of reading and a lot of information. So I'm not sure if we need to push it forward this today, but it's a lot. But thank you very much, Commissioner.
Commissioner King.
Thank you. I know you put a lot of time and effort in this, and I'm not trying to hold it up, but I just think this battery storage, I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know there was anybody looking to buy land to put these on in Sullivan County. But I've had at least 2 people call me about this thing. And they just want to sell the land because evidently they got a huge price for it. And if we're going to do this, I'd like to have a little more idea of what we're selling or going to put out there. And if we could, the rest of it, I mean, I don't have a problem with the rest of it, but I think we need to take this part out and study it and see if it will, fit into this, what we're doing with the data centers and all this other stuff. If it will fit, but, if people's already signing contracts for land, and that's what they're gonna put on it, I wanna know exactly what they're gonna do with it, I think we need to, if we could pull this part of it out and entice the rest of it, then I'd be fine with that. But I think we need to study this part of it before we move on. That's my 2 cents worth.
Could I ask a clarifying question? Are you, I would say, opposed or in favor of battery energy storage systems?
I don't know because I don't know enough about it.
I think it's worth being confused.
Yeah, I mean, if I knew a whole lot more about it, and when people ask me about it, I could, inform them. Right now, I can't because I don't know enough about it. And this is new stuff. This is something that, it's probably in the last year or so it started coming around. And, I mean, have you, before, has the planning and zoning never had requests for it?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's new. And I think think we need to study this a little bit and figure out what it's all about, and then if it works in all this, then fine, but if it don't, then put it in a different category.
Sir? That makes sense.
All right, so, then how are we gonna do this? That, you know, we pass the whole thing and then come back and pull it out? Or we pull it out now?
I don't know if necessarily I would confer with Attorney Street. I'm not sure that we can pull it out, because it has to be passed as it's presented. But an option would be, you know, to pass, I could bring a zoning text amendment back, take the 4 months, basically. Because every text amendment that comes, that we have to bring through, has to go through each regional planning commission, so it all has to line up. Before it can come back to you all.
Where would we stand, Mr. Mead, if we deferred? Where would that put us if we said we deferred?
If we deferred, I mean, let me clarify, like, this is not like my baby, but, you know, when we pass a moratorium, it directs my office to do this. So I'm fine with deferral and restudying this further. Again, that's the moratorium, though.
We still have people seeking recognition. I don't know if there's a motion that lies in that group or not, but is everybody okay with continuing on the discussion for now?
Yeah, one quick question.
I'm going to do it in the order that I have everyone recognize. Do you have anything else, Commissioner? No. Commissioner Van Overden and Commissioner Cross.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your work. I know how much you put into this, and it's been amazing, so thank you for what you've done. Are there any harmful effects from these battery storage systems?
Definitely not more harmful than a data center could potentially bring.
I think the people I've talked to are concerned about radiation from the data center, so is there any studies that have been done to show that they do or they don't emit harmful radiation?
No, sir, I haven't seen anything. Again, I'm definitely not an expert on battery energy storage systems by any means, or data centers for that matter.
Is there anyone we could get to maybe inform us about the dangers or the non-dangers of this?
Local utility providers or TVA would probably be your best bet as a knowledge base on that.
Definitely. So I think everyone's just concerned about the citizens and the possible unintended consequences. So if we could just get more information from someone like that, I think it'd be very helpful.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cross.
Thank you, Chair. What is the, I know we extended it, what is the moratorium ending date?
Did you all accept it?
That we extended? What did we extend it to?
I think we did a year. I think we'll change it to a year from the date.
Because that will be very important on the deferral.
So the 4 months was supposed to end last month, and we changed it to a year, so we've got 8 months, basically, or 7 months left.
So in effect to that, if we have 7, 8 months, if we defer this, we could even go to the action of taking the battery energy storage out. We will still be safe as far as moratorium. That was my only question. Thank you.
Commissioner Irish.
I'm sorry. I got this question here. So everything in here, the data centers, the battery, the accessory energy generation system, all the different fancy terms that they have, all fall in the PDM3 data center under that bubble.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so under that bubble, it has to be in an industrial park. It has to be 300,000 square feet, and it has to be in a place that currently in Sullivan County there is none.
Correct.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about them putting a data center or any kind of other thing. If we pass this, even the battery storage, there's nothing in existence in Sullivan County that would actually meet these requirements.
Commissioner Ward.
Not sure where to start, but definitely appreciate all your work you've done on this. But I don't think there's a person in this room that think that you haven't done a ton of work on this. push it back a month, give some people in this room a chance to get that dumb look off their face. I'm not sure anybody here realizes what we're doing right now. What would be the downfall of that?
Again, we extended the moratorium to another 7 months on all things that we've heard. Now, again, where that brings me to is if we do decide to change something, that is gonna put a little bit of a hustle on things, because we'll have to come to a consensus on what you all want, and then I'll have to take it back to all planning commissions.
I'm not sure anybody wants to change, I just think everybody wants to kind of regurgitate this, and kind of take it in, and look at what you've given us here. I haven't had an opportunity, I don't know if anybody else has. I agree with, Mayor-elect, Vano. I want to be the first to say that. Let's pump the brakes on this, just push it back a month, give us a chance to really look at this, and so we can all appreciate the hard work that you've done, and understand it. Just, I'll be the first to admit, I don't understand what you're doing out here. So I'd like to have a chance to look at it. And I would actually make a motion that we defer this for a month.
That is a proper motion, and we have a proper second. And the floor is open for discussion, and, Commissioner Cross, Commissioner Jones is seeking recognition.
I don't have any problem with deferral. My question to Luke is, are the battery storage unit systems, do they work hand in hand with the data mining centers?
Yeah.
So they have to exist together. And well, then, Mr. King's question, somebody out here selling land, well, we did this, there is nowhere else in the county because they have to be in an industrial park.
Right.
That's why people have to, before they sign a contract, need to do some research. Is it even allowable on what they're being approached with? So the data center, mining center, which we've heard from all over the country, in northern Virginia especially, and over in Washington County, have an issue with one. They've had to close it down. It goes hand in hand with the battery storage, energy, whatever, BESS.
Yeah, I mean, as technology is advancing, it's requiring more and more energy. And for a battery energy storage system, again, not an expert, from what I understand from my research, it is. Generally, if you have a battery energy storage system somewhere nearby, you have a highly intense electrical use, i.e. something like a data center. The reason they're written as an accessory use here is all of these things, like when they build these data centers, they're built like a campus. It kind of functions like a micro ecosystem of itself. You have the water coming in that gets heated to cool. They have energy reclamation systems that then take that power back off. You have a battery energy storage system on the side that puts it back into it. I mean, it's really amazing technology what they've been able to come up with.
And just a reminder, we have a motion on the floor to defer, and we have a motion and a second, so we need to take that up.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing me to continue my questioning, because part of the issue is in some areas, the data centers have been pulling the energy out of the network that's providing them, like Bristol Utilities or AEP or any of them. It's the high use of pulling the energy from those systems. I know that they're recommending that they now go to package atomic nuclear packages in order to produce energy. And that creates another issue. Well, there's a lot going on in this market nationwide, a lot of concern. You know, if you're not interested in it, then just...
You have the floor, Mr. Jones.
So, I just thought, you know, they go hand in hand, and I'm really up for it. Thank you.
Mr. King, we're gonna have to address the motion to defer.
John.
The information that I got from this individual was, these battery storage can stand alone. And that's what they're doing, is let's say you got a, industrial park, but they have peak usage at times. Well, if you don't have enough electric coming into it, that's what we're wanting to do, is store this, and then when a industry or something needs it, then they can pull this out, put it on the grid and use it. And then what they're trying to do is keep the, the brownouts that we've had. That's the biggest thing is we're trying to do is have enough energy in these batteries, so when they need it, they can pull it out and put it to wherever it needs to go. And that way we don't have drops in our electrical, the brownouts. And that was what the person who's interested in doing one of these, that's how he explained it to me. And that's all I know about it. I've never seen one in action. I don't know. But that's the way he explained it to me.
Commissioner Ward moves.
One last question. Do we currently have anybody seeking to do this inside Sullivan County right now?
Data centers are back. No, I mean, we haven't got any requests on.
No problem, just push this back 30 days until this is done. I renew my motion to defer.
Mr. Chairman, may I respond to that?
You sure can.
So, Commissioner King, the way that I describe battery energy storage kit, they can come in right now and go in a PFD2 zone. So if anything, we're already allowing them, we probably need to take a strong look at it if we want to bump them up a classification exclusively to PFD3. If the concern, it's going to be radiation or something like that. As far as the PFD3 zone goes, if they're allowed in PFD2, with the minimum lot size and the acreage, a standalone battery energy storage system, I don't know who in the world would want to buy something that big for that type of facility. I mean, that's a massive problem for them to purchase for something they can contain on half or less of that size. So, something to take a look at.
Commissioner Ward renews his motion to defer. Second by Commissioner Cross and Commissioner Cole. When the board opens, please cast your vote on deferring case number 2 till next month. Correct? For 1 month. Yeah, a yes vote is to defer. March 13th votes for passage. We're going to do the old-fashioned way. We're going to do a roll call vote on motion to defer. I'll reproduce.
Baker. Absent. Elton. Absent. Carr.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Crosswhite. Yes. Gardner.
Yes.
Sullivan. Absent. Harvey. No. Hayes.
No.
Hopper.
No.
Horn. Absent.
Yes.
Jones? King?
Yes.
Leonard?
Yes.
Flock?
Yes.
McMurray? Absent. Means? Yes. Pierce?
Yes.
Stidham? Absent. Hanover?
Yes.
And Ward.
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Yes, 4 no, 6 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, case number 2 is adjourned. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you all.
That concludes the business for the Sullivan County rezoning hearing. Without objection, rezoning hearing is closed and work session is in session. Next order is presentation on the tax increment finance request for the new Aldi supermarket. If we're ready, are we good with that, or? Well, it's next in our work session. We want to do that right now. Is that-
We've got everyone.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do that now. This is just a presentation.
This resolution.
I'm just recognizing them for the presentation right now.
This involves the proposed adoption of a TIF, a tax increment financing amendment to locate a new Aldi store in Volunteer Plaza Development District in Bristol, Tennessee, where the former Hills Department Store was located. Mr. Tom Anderson, Economic Development Manager for the City of Bristol, Tennessee, will present the case for approving this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to introduce John Conkin. He's the attorney with the Housing Authority, and he's the one that wrote the resolution that kind of leads into this presentation. So I'm going to ask him to come up.
Good evening. As Tom said, I'm Joel Conkin. I'm legal counsel for Bristol Housing. I've written this resolution regarding what we call Project Strike in the Volunteer Plaza redevelopment district, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with its location. So this is a proposed 20-year TIF. This project and TIF amendment and redevelopment plan has been approved by the Bristol Housing Board and the Bristol City Council, and they've recommended approval to this commission. This is a proposed 20-year TIF with $500,000 of max TIF indebtedness to be issued in support of this project, which is about a 19,300 square foot retail grocery store. And the TIF is designed to support the site work necessary to get that site ready for development. There is no holdback in this TIF. I know that's sometimes a question this commission has, but I'm not going to go into the project details. Tom's going to cover that, but if there's any questions regarding the technical aspects of the TIF, I'm happy to answer those.
Thank you. As Joel mentioned, this is in an established redevelopment district. This was identified, it had the conditions that met light and some underutilization, and it had a lot of challenges. And this is from back in 2005, and now obviously the Hills Plaza building is no longer there, and you can see that it's basically just the foundation and then some debris around it. We do have representatives from Godsey Leasing. We have Tracy Hartman and Brady Hartman. They're here if you have any questions. The TIF is there because this project will not move forward without it. And as Joel mentioned, it's gonna be a maximum of $500,000 for 20 years. And this is an effort to get an Aldi's grocery store. And it is actually one of the larger footprints. Initially, they were talking about 19,000. This next one will be a 20,664,000 square foot building. They're gonna hire between 12 and 18 people. They look for 13 million annual taxable sales, which would then bring in local option. Total local option would be $292,500. So if you want to go to the next slide, please. This is the math that Joel was talking about. The current, well, the original, the assessed value right now on the property is $361,000, and that brings in $5,829 to the county right now every year. That $5,800 will continue to come in throughout the life of the TIF, but there's also debt service that would be removed from the increment. So when they build the building, this is not personal property, this would just be the real property, not the land, just the building itself. Then the new assessed value, once the building is built, would be $1.6 million. That's what's going to generate the increment. And the county increment is going to be 17, after the debt service is taken out, will be $17,868, and that's what will be used to pay off the TIF. And that would go on for 20 years. So if you go to the next slide, this is the timeline that Joel talked about. We had the principals from the project contact us back in October. There was a public hearing with the Housing Authority on April 9th. There was no one from the public had any comment. Excuse me. April 22nd is when the Housing Authority voted to make this a project. They accepted the amendment, which then passed City Council, and then it will be coming in front of you all next week, hopefully for a vote. And to summarize some of the numbers, that'll be on the next slide, please. The developer is the one that's getting this TIF. They're the one that's requesting it, it's Scott C. Leasing. They're getting that to offset some inordinate costs to develop this site. And once the site is developed, Aldi's will lease it and then build the building. So that's where the $500,000 goes. It's going to go for retaining walls to deal with some stormwater issues and then to clean up a lot of that debris and remove the infrastructure that's in place now. So the term would be up to 20 years. We've been very fortunate on our TIFs. They've paid off several years early. And right now, we actually had several of them pay off this year. So the current real property tax base, that's the $5,800 that you're getting now and you continue to get it. And that $5,800 is based on the current tax rate. The debt service is based on the bonds that you all have issued. That changes every time you issue a bond or pay one off, and that would be the $2,601. That goes to your debt service. That comes off the top. And then the $13 million estimated annual sales, the total local option, that is the $292,000. And then they also will have over $1 million of personal property inside the store. That is not part of the tax increment finance package. So that, at this time, would be $6,452. That would come to the county. So the total estimated tax revenue that would be generated on this property, if this TIF is approved, would be over $307,000. And then the increment that would be given to the debt service for the TIF is the $17,868. So you'll be giving up the $1,700. You're not getting it now. You're getting some of the other revenues, but you would not get a lot of it. You would not get the $307,000 if this does not go forward. So if you go positively, the $307 is what comes in, and the $17,000 is what gets diverted to pay off the debt over a 20-year term. We have Josh Williamson. He's actually on the phone. If you have any questions, he's an Aldi representative, so if you have any questions from the Aldi Corporation, we'll just hold it up to the microphone and let you all ask questions if you like. If not, we have Regina Edwards is here from the Housing Authority. You met Joel, and then Tracy and Brady are here if there's anything we could answer for you.
You've heard the presentation. The floor is open for discussion. Recognize Commissioner Ireson.
Thanks, Tom. Curious why a zero holdback? That seems to be going lower and lower, hard to go lower than zero, but 5 and 10% that seem to be, I thought, with our basement, so kind of why would we go all the way to zero?
Well, to get over the threshold for the project to go forward, the fact that they're not tying up the personal property and then there will be sales tax generation, it seemed like there was more benefit to have this go forward. We just couldn't get the numbers to work without doing the zero holdback.
Commissioner Randall.
Thank you, Tom. Do you see any downside to this shift at all?
Given our history with the other TIFs, no. We'll see growth. We'll see an area that has been identified for 21 years that needs to be redeveloped and it needs to be enhanced. We're looking, most times development begets other development. This posed a specific challenge, so that's what actually made this TIF necessary, is to get the lease rate down to the level that always needed to be able to build a store here.
You consider it a blighted area?
Yes, sir.
That's what TIFs do, is
That is.
redo those blighted areas. Thank you. Do you know anything about battery energy storage?
I'm not gonna wade into that, so I know a little bit, but I'm not going.
I saw you sitting there, you may be the only person in the room that knows anything about it. If you do, we'd love to hear it.
They are something that's coming, and you do need to put the guardrails up.
Thank you.
You missed it. Commissioner Harden.
Thank you, I appreciate that information. Did you remind us what the timeline is on completing this?
Yes, thank you. If this goes through and gets, they actually will start almost immediately, so the construction of the site will begin this summer, and then following that, all these will begin building their store, and they should be open next year, and then everything would fall on the tax rolls and start in 28.
Anyone else have any questions? Commissioner Ward.
Not a question, but a comment. We've done TIFs before, but if there's a piece of property that ever probably qualified for one, this would definitely be it. That Hills Department Store's got an eyesore for Bristol for many years. I'm glad to see that property really turning around, and Bristol's done an outstanding job up there.
Thank you. The God sees how they have control.
Absolutely. I'm glad to see that property get a makeover.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you all very much. We'll be addressing that very soon.
Thank you.
Our next order is public hearing on non-agenda and agenda-related items. If anyone was wishing to address the commission, public comment on agenda or non-agenda related items that didn't have an opportunity to sign up, feel free. Seeing none, without objection, the public comment portion of the agenda is closed. Next order is review of old business. Commissioner Stidham, you snuck in on me. Recognize Commissioner Stidham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're probably next week, we're gonna roll this out 1 month to kind of get a budget, time to get some work done on the budget and get called up. And we'll roll it out for a month as a plan.
Sponsor, take item number 1 at our regular scheduled commission meeting next week. Without objection, that's the end of old business. Under new business, recognize, excuse me, Commissioner Jones, I apologize to you, sir.
Is this the same item number 5 on the new business?
No, it's a misprint.
It's not, sir. It's not.
So it's another 50,000?
No, sir.
It's a misprint.
It's a misprint. Misprint. Okay. Without objection, under new business, recognize Commissioner Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. and short, this is just a JAG grant. They apply for this every year. It's in the amount of $21,451, no matching funds. They apply for this every year to get it. It's just reoccurring. Sometimes the amount changes just a little bit. I would ask that this be placed on consent since it's no new money and no matching funds.
You've heard the explanation on item number 2. Floor is open for discussion. Anyone seek recognition? Commissioner Ward. Sponsor needs his motion for consent calendar on item number 2. Is there any objection to item number 2 being placed on consent calendar? No objection. Item number 2 is placed on consent calendar. Recognize Commissioner Jones on item number 3.
Why do we have resolutions with no sponsor?
I don't have an answer for that, sir. I was looking at that myself. Is there, who introduced this resolution? Does anyone wish to, read and get familiar?
I'll sponsor.
Commissioner Larry Crawford, being added as the sponsor. Who wishes to be the co-sponsor? I'll do co. Commissioner Iverson and Hopper wish to be the co-sponsors. Recognize Commissioner Iverson on item number 3. Crawford's. Excuse me, Crawford. Item number 3.
Thank you, Chairman. This resolution is the commission to authorize the acceptance of an appropriation of funds from the governor's response and relief fund for critical infrastructure improvements and long-term hazard mitigation measures related to Hurricane Helene. To best my memory brings forth, there is monies now available because of the hurricane, and I think this is just probably a resolution to be able to make application for those funding.
You've heard the explanation on item number 3. The floor is open for discussion. Recognize Commissioner Jones.
Is this going to, it doesn't say where it's going, is this going to the highway department for infrastructure, highway infrastructure? It says that we have been allocated the funding. This is just our acceptance of it, not applying for it. It's been allocated. And then we accept it, but it doesn't say where it's going.
For eligible expenditures, so there are going to be some stipulations as to where this money can be used, from what I'm reading here in section 2.
I think, and then turn to page section 3, the finance department is hereby authorized to assign the regular budget and county tax.
That's probably a good place for it to go.
Recognize Commissioner Crawford.
I move for adoption. Well, let's put it on consent because there's not going to be any expenditure on our behalf.
Sponsor moves consent calendar for item number 3. Is there any objection to item number 3 being placed on consent calendar? Recognize Commissioner Locke.
No, I'm ready for item 4.
Without objection, item number 3 is placed on consent calendar. Recognize Commissioner Locke on item number 4.
This resolution to apply, set and appropriate BGA for year 25 cost of grant for the health department for the corridor of 2681 to do drug detection through Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati. I've got Ms. Hannah back here, the director of the health department. If y'all have any questions, she can answer those for you. If not, we'll put it on consent.
You've heard the explanation on item number 4. The floor is open for discussion on item number 4. Sponsor moves consent calendar. Is there any objection to item number 4 being placed on the consent calendar? Without objection, item number
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a resolution regarding the Tennessee Department of Health's Rural Health Transformation Program. That's something they award to rural counties. The state, in their infinite wisdom, decreed that Sullivan County was not a rural county, or considered a metropolitan county. And yet Williamson County, the wealthiest county in the state, was considered a rural county. So this is just a resolution asking the state to reconsider that matter. And of course, Hannah is here. If you all have any questions on that, I would like to get this on consent and sent to the appropriate people. Thank you.
You've heard the explanation of item number 5. The floor is open for discussion. The sponsor moves consent calendar. Recognize Commissioner Hopper.
Thank you, sir. Just out of curiosity, it says the project seeks to partner with the University of, and doesn't say what university. Is that important?
Commissioner Carter. You're looking at item number 3, sir.
No, that's 4, I'm sorry.
That's 4. Looking at the different item. No, his question is pertaining to item 4. Do you have another question, Mr. Hall?
No.
University of Cincinnati.
No, that was item 4, though. Commissioner Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hannah, do you care to come up here? Is she still here? If you don't care, just, I know I asked you for next week, but why don't we just give them, since we're here, a good synopsis of what it is, this Royal Health Transformation. Because everyone in this room needs to be very aware of the exclusions that is happening in Sullivan County right here for what's going on, so.
Yeah, so thank you, Commissioner Means. Long story short, the state of Tennessee has been awarded over the next 5 years $50 million. For this first fiscal year, they've been awarded $209 million. There are 6 metropolitan counties that are determined by the Tennessee Department of Health. We are considered one of those metropolitan counties. That means we get oversight of the health department, and we work very closely with the Tennessee Department of Health, but we do not directly get their oversight. We get to set our own rules. So because of that, we do not get access to any of these funds. There are 17 different categories in which we can apply for and 45 different activity levels. So we're missing out, essentially, on anything within that grant. And that's not only the health department, that is Sullivan County as a whole. So like Allied Health, State of Franklin, any nonprofit organization, anything like that, Sullivan County residents cannot access the funds. I've had multiple conversations with Commissioner Dunn at the Tennessee Department of Health, as well as several different people in the office who manage the Rural Health Transformation Funds. And he verbatim told me, I can apply for a mobile unit for Sullivan County, but I have to drive it to Hawkins County. I can't serve anybody in Sullivan County with that mobile unit. So that's the kind of injustice I'm talking about. It's not just the health department, Valid Health. Nobody could go, if they receive these funds, nobody could go to them in Sullivan County and get them. So it's not just the health department injustice issue, it's an issue for all of Sullivan County and all the metros across the state of Tennessee.
So we have 95 counties in the state of Tennessee, and only 6 of them are ineligible to be able to apply for all of this money. And we are one of those 6. So state legislatures really need to try to go back for us out here, because that's not fair.
Exactly, and metros do serve the population of Tennessee. They serve 46% of the state. So that's 46% of the state that's not eligible to receive any of these funds. And like Commissioner Carr said, Williamson County, the richest county in the state of Tennessee, they get to access these funds. Seems like a real big injustice. So.
Yeah, so I really applaud Commissioner Carr for putting this resolution together to send to the governor. But this should outrage every single one of us here in Sullivan County, because we're supposed to be protectors and guardians of our county, and This is a major injustice to us. So keep your ears open. We've got 5 years to apply for it every year, and I think we're gonna keep beating the drum every single year to make sure that we get the appropriate funds.
Yeah, and I know we won't know how much funding is gonna be for the home commander. They track your progress and how good you do with different projects, so we don't know how much the money's gonna be for the next consecutive years, but for this year, it's 209.
That's $209 million, or 2.9, $209 million, yeah.
Commissioner Iverson. So, I'm a firm believer in unintended consequences. And we're a metro, which I love during COVID because we made our own decisions for our own county with our own health department. That's why you're here as your own health department. So I'm concerned about telling the state we want to not be a metro. But at the same time, sometimes they look at that and say, well, obviously, if you don't want to be a metro, if you're telling us how rural you are, then why are you a metro? I'm just an unintended consequences guy. I'm worried that this is going to be looked at, and I don't want us to lose our health department. I don't want to lose our independent status. And again, whenever it all happened, I love the fact that we were independent. We made our own decisions for our own county and our schools and everything about it. So, yes, I'd love to get this money. I don't want to risk our status, because if we're going to say we're one of only 6, but we're rural and we should be one of 6, that worries me. So, just concerned.
Totally agree with you.
Commissioner Carr.
I'm just responding to what Commissioner Harrison said. We're not asking them to, renegotiate our status as a metro county. We're just asking them to look at the criteria under which they're awarding these funds. That's all we're asking them to do.
Am I allowed to respond?
You are, yes.
Okay, so I've already actually wrote letters to our delegation, and in that I outlined specifically based on population size. Did also make it very clear, exactly like you just said, we're not looking to change our metro status. We're just looking for the eligibility criteria on this money to be changed. I agree with you 100%.
Anyone else seek recognition? Thank you very much. Commissioner Jones?
Hannah, when, I might be the only one that was here when we became a separate health department district from the district that was out of Washington County. It still is, everybody else but Sullivan County. When did we become designated a metro?
So I've been trying to research that, and it looks like 1993 from what I can find. And the reason we did that was because we were not getting treated fairly compared to the surrounding counties. In addition to, this body was having to pay funding back to the state of Tennessee, and that cost and benefit was not equaling out. So it was when Bill Ray was the health department director, and that's when he got it separated. So from what I can find, 1993.
And that we were designated a metro at that time?
At that time.
I swear I don't remember that happening, but thank you for your research.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Carr, did you say there was an exception for Williamson County, which is a metro?
They're considered rural and not a metro.
Okay.
Anyone else? Thank you very much. Commissioner Carr.
Consent agenda.
Commissioner Carr renews his motion for consent calendar for item number 5. Is there any objection to item number 5 being placed on the consent calendar? Without objection, item number 5 is placed on consent calendar. Recognize Commissioner King on item number 6.
Thank you. This resolution is to amend the Sullivan County Highway Department, transferring $35,000 from accounts with available funds to areas of appropriations where funds are changing it to, other charges. And I didn't get a good description of what the other charges were. I don't know if they know yet or not, but anyway, they've got a bill and they need to pay it, so they're transferring money.
You've heard the explanation on item number 6.
Put it on consent again.
The floor is open for discussion. Sponsor moves consent calendar on item number 6. Is there any objection to item number 6 being placed on consent calendar? Without objection, item number 6 is placed on the consent calendar. Recognize Commissioner Means on item number 7.
This is a resolution to establish 25-mile-per-hour speed limit on Emory Church Road. And I just ask that we put it on consent calendar.
You've heard the explanation on item number 7. The floor is open for discussion. Sponsor moves consent calendar for item number 7. Is there any objection? Item number 7, without objection, is placed on the consent calendar. Recognize Commissioner King on item number 8.
Sure that's mine? I thought that's crosswalk. That's hers.
I'll give it to him if he wants.
Comes from budget, it's hers.
Well, I'm just reading what's in front of me.
All right.
I'll recognize Commissioner Crosswhite.
Thank you, Chairman. This is coming from the Building Committee, not the budget. It's a resolution to authorize the Sullivan County Purchasing Department to seek bids to demolish and remove the building once used for shop classes. It's located adjacent to the former middle school. Lynn's here. It's going to take approximately about $33,000 to tear that building down. It's the old rock building. It is full of mold. But if you have any questions, I'm sure Stuart can answer them.
You've heard the explanation on item number 8. The floor is open for discussion. Anyone seek recognition? Recognize Commissioner Crosswhite.
Yes. Please consent since we're just seeking bids. And thank you, Mr. Jones, for reminding me of that. Thank you.
Sponsor moves consent calendar on.
It says that on the
Sponsor moves consent calendar on item number 8. Is there any objection to item number 8 being placed on consent calendar?
Yes.
We have an objection to item number 8 being placed on consent calendar. Commissioner Crosswhite?
It says it's spending money, it's not just getting bids spent.
No, we're not spending.
That's what it says.
Excess up to $33,000.
And the.
Just asking for a bid.
Commissioner Crosswhite, can you clear this up for us? You have the floor.
Thank you.
And only Ms. Commissioner Crosswhite.
Thank you, Chairman. It is just getting bids. So it's money. We're not spending money yet. It's just getting bids.
We need to make an amendment then, because it says and to result in the roof properly was and disposed of. Only for said working on fixing it.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, I cannot hear you.
I hope we have Commissioner Cross seeking recognition and Commissioner Iverson.
I was just going to clarify that point that he was clarifying, which is at the bottom it says funding for said work not to exceed, but I know you're seeking bids, but those bids, once we get them, if we put this on consent, we have to come back here. So I think what we're trying to do is put it on waiver rules so that we can send it out to bid and thus accept the bid as well.
I'll accept that.
So we'll offer that as an official amendment next week. We can only amend it at the commission meeting, but you can accept it, we have to vote on it next week.
Yes, thank you.
You just wish to roll it to next week?
I'm sorry, I got that out. Yes, well, next one, please.
Commissioner Crosswhite moves item number 8 You seek recognition, Commissioner Cross?
Yes. Thank you.
Who keeps cutting these mics off?
I promise I did. I think what I was trying to clarify is if we do it on waiver of rules instead of consent, you don't have to push it all month. You can do it on waiver of rules without amending it. You can just waive the rule.
Next week,
Restate your motion for the record.
waiver of rules for next week. Oh, I heard it came on. Waiver of rules for next week, please.
Commissioner Crosswhite rolls item number 8 to next week's calendar where she will present it on waiver of rules. Without objection, recognize Commissioner Vanover on item number 9.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You have an amended, corrected copy of item number 9 on your desk that John Osborne passed out earlier. Item 9 is a resolution to authorize the Sullivan County Highway Department to accept $470,404.24 in Hurricane Helene relief funds from TEMA and FEMA as reimbursement for post-storm cleanup across Sullivan County. This was discussed in our Financial Management Committee meeting Tuesday. Our grant coordinator brought the check, and she was very proud to say that we were probably the first county in East Tennessee to receive this reimbursement. So through her efforts, this was brought to our highway commissioner last Tuesday. So I'd like to congratulate her on that and ask for, or we'll be asking for consent calendar.
You heard the explanation on item number 9. The floor is open for discussion. Sponsor moves consent calendar for item number 9. Is there any objection? Without objection, item number 9 is placed on consent calendar. Recognize Commissioner Harvey on item number 10.
This resolution involves the adoption of a TIF, tax increment financing amendment, to locate a new Aldi store in the Volunteer Plaza Development District in Bristol, Tennessee, where the former Hills Department Store is located. We have received, so many people are excited about this and looking forward to having it. I mentioned to Commissioner King that where it's located with the growth in Sullivan County with Piney Flats, how many people are going to probably enjoy having this supermarket that close to them as well. So looking to put this on waiver of rules next week.
You've heard the explanation on item number 10. The floor is open for discussion on item number 10. Anyone seek recognition? Sponsor rolls item number 10 to next week's calendar where she will present it on waiver of rules. Recognize Commissioner Harvey on item number 11.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To clarify, a home consortium is a group of local governments that partner together to qualify for federal home investment funds from HUD, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. By combining the resources, the cities and counties can fund affordable housing initiatives for low-income households. The Northeast Tennessee Virginia Home Consortium includes Sullivan County, Tennessee, Washington County, Tennessee, Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia, Bluff City, Tennessee, Kingsport, Tennessee, and Johnson City, Tennessee. In this resolution, the city of Bristol, Tennessee is designated as the leader, which is responsible for the compliance. This resolution authorizes the mayor of Sullivan County, Tennessee to continue as a member of the Northeast Tennessee Virginia Home Consortium for an additional 3-year period from 2027 to 2029. And Sullivan County has been a partner in this home consortium for more than 2 decades, receiving funds to assist with home constructions as well as home buyer assistance. There's no local match required from Sullivan County to receive these federal funds, several $100,000 each year. So I'm asking that this be put on consent.
You've heard the explanation on item number 11. The floor is open for discussion. Sponsor moves consent calendar for item number 11. Is there any objection to item number 11 being placed on the consent calendar? Recognize Commissioner Jones.
No objection, but would you read that list again? That's the first time I've heard that list.
Sullivan County, Tennessee, Washington County, Tennessee, Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia, Bluff City, Tennessee, Kingsport, Tennessee, and Johnson City, Tennessee. My understanding is that it's well over $1 million that they receive, and most of that is used for helping people with down payments and home reconstruction for low-income assistance.
Anyone else seek recognition? Sponsor, is there a motion for consent calendar on item number 11? Without objection, item number 11 is placed on consent calendar. Recognize Commissioner Ward on item number 12.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This resolution is to appropriate $177,043 from the opiate settlement fund to the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office Medical Division Mental Health Program. This is McKinsey Cole's program. The money was used last year, the same amount from the opiate abatement money. I know it goes for several different things. I'm not sure that I can actually point them all out. I know it's a mental therapist. Help me out here, Michael. Mental health doctor. This is for inmates that are inside currently, that are on medication. She's able to pay with some of this funding, some of their medication, some of their treatment. Am I leaving anything out? That's pretty much the gist of it. We did it last year. I know it saves them a ton of money. That way, you're not sending these inmates out to the hospital. It's all done in-house. So they come to the jail and do it there. And I'll try my very best to answer any questions. They did a presentation for us. Obviously last year it got awarded, and they did one for us this year. Joe Carr was there, Commissioner Cross-White, Commissioner Means. It approved unanimously through the committee. So comes from the Open Abatement Committee.
Recognize Commissioner Cross.
I'd just like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Absolutely. Everybody voting in the affirmative will be added as co-sponsor.
Commissioner Crosswhite.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm a little bit confused on this because our last meeting we didn't even have a quorum. And what we had decided on our first meeting that we were going to set our priorities. Now, both of this is for 12 and 13. They're both really good programs. I'm supportive of that, but we're in the process. We already gave Families Free $513,000 to operate a home for 6 to 8 women for 18 months. Right now in our funding, we're $11,000 negative for abatement. We have $499,000 in our subdivision funds. We don't know when our next amount of money is coming in, so if we use these two, if we go ahead and approve these two right now, that's $393,000. That only leaves us $116,000, and we are in the process of bidding on a building to finish our obligation to Families Free for these ladies for this $513,000. So I hope that we can roll this over. We're having a meeting next Tuesday again. And but anyway, I hope that we can roll this over until we see what our funds are going to be, because we are obligated to find this Families Free home, and we are in negotiations on a place right now. And we should know something by next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Commissioner Ward.
Wow. You're talking about a meeting that happened yesterday. This meeting that we're actually talking about where these got approved, that you were the chair of,
Yes, sir.
was 2 weeks ago on, I think, the 29th, right, Commissioner Carter? And everybody in that room, Archie Pierce was there, everybody in that room, Darlene was there, everybody in that room approved that one and the next one. So I'm not sure where you're talking about we didn't have a quorum. You also voted yes in the affirmative for that too.
Yes, sir. But we put them in order, that we had to take care of the money we've already given to families free for $513,000. And then we were going to address these two for the sheriff's department. And then we even, yesterday, whenever we had our last meeting, the Children's Advocacy Center has brought in an application. If we do these right now, then there will be no negotiation on the building because we won't have money and we don't know when we're going to do it. So I'd rather wait if I can, if it's with you all till we see we're in negotiations again to buy the building. We should know before next Thursday.
I'm not sure why you keep saying that we're obligated to them. I know we've given them about $500,000 to run their operation for about the next 2 years. I'm pretty sure last month, you guys on the committee, correct me if I'm wrong, actually the month before, we voted to buy a piece of property and that property got voted down. So therefore, there's no, I'm not sure what you're talking about, the commitment. It failed in this very chamber, so I'm not sure why we're talking about, we're not obligated to them anymore. It did pass. And then we just approved something 2 weeks ago in front of the committee, actually there's two tonight that are about as good as two resolutions I've ever seen come through here. So I'm not sure why we're having this conversation. I know in that committee, we also talked about the next check coming, which is overdue, should have been here last month, that money could possibly be used to buy that piece of property. So I'm not sure why we're postponing something right now that everybody in that room, including yourself, agreed to.
Yes, but it's in the minutes. I can bring them next week if you'd like, that our first obligation was to buy the building. And then we would do the mental health for the jail and this new, this co-sponsors program, which all of these are wonderful, but I think we need to concentrate on purchasing the building first. So
I'd ask it to be put on waiver rules and we'll vote on it next week. Have more people seeking recognition. Commissioner Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to clarify, I was at the May 29th meeting that is being referenced, and I specifically made a motion that we go ahead and fund items number 11 and items number 12, because one is an existing program that's doing really good work, and item number 13 is a program that we desperately need to get going right now. And Commissioner Ward can talk about a certain situation that happened that really underscores the necessity for this program. And the thought process is we go ahead and keep funding the one that we have going and start this new one that there's a dire need of, because we've got the money to do them right now. The house, we're still looking for a house that would be suitable for it, and I'm honestly not happy with the pricing that we're getting on the houses. We just had a reassessment. The economy's not really that great, and we've got people trying to, sell us property for more than what it's worth when we just had reappraisals. And I think that's, not to get lost in the weeds, but I think that's something that we need to, cut down on as people see that we're a government body and they think, oh, we can charge them more than what our property's worth. I don't think that's right. But again, that's just our reasoning on these two resolutions. So, thank you.
Commissioner Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to affirm what Commissioner Carr and Commissioner Ward have said, the facts are we had a discussion about property, but that's a totally different, separate issue than what's right here. We all agreed to have these resolutions already taken care of so that these people are taken care of. They're running a successful program at the sheriff's office, and we're very thankful for the hard work that these ladies and gentlemen do over there. So I don't think we should hinge this on potential conversations that are happening about other things. This is what's on the table right now, so I'm in complete support of this. So, thank you.
Commissioner Crosswhite.
Again, both these programs are wonderful, but we have obligated that $513,000 to families free, and I'll be glad to go back and check the minutes and bring them in here next week. But in my vision, we were going to vote on the church, or no, it's like that, it's church, the home for these ladies, and then the 177, because they have done a wonderful job for the medical staff, and this new, I mean, I feel like that'll be wonderful, but the way I understood it was going to be the house, and then the medical division at the jail, and then this new one, but I will bring what information I have next week, and we can go on.
Waiver rules, we'll go next week.
Sponsor rolls item number 12 to our next regular scheduled commission meeting. Will be item number 12 will be presented on waiver of rules. Without objection, recognize Commissioner Carr on item number 13.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a resolution from the Opioid Advisory Committee to appropriate $216,000 to the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office's Co-Responders Program. We had a wonderful presentation from an officer from the City of Bristol Police Department, and he talked about the program that they implemented where they had 2 trained mental health professionals riding along with their officers, and they had a phenomenal amount of success from that program. They were able to massively cut down on the number of people that they had to haul off to jail for mental health issues, because they have someone, they're not sitting in an office, they're in the police cars the whole time, and they're able to evaluate someone on site there so that, they don't have to, your sheriff's deputies, they don't have to waste time, taking someone for a treatment center, waiting hours for them to be evaluated. And if I may, I would like to recognize Commissioner Ward to talk about the recent incident which we had, which is really heartbreaking, that kind of really underscores the necessity of this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why these weren't on there to begin with. We had a couple officers here to talk about this. We've researched this. We're kind of modeling it a little bit after Bristol, Tennessee Police Department. Washington County Sheriff's Department has a program that they implement on the inside, but Bristol, Tennessee has probably one of the best programs I've ever seen. They put a co-responder inside a vehicle with a patrol officer, and they actually respond to calls. We asked for 2, so we can put one on the upper end and one on the lower end. There's a little bit of equipment involved, a radio, actually a bulletproof vest, and they'll be wearing khakis and a collared shirt, polo. Won't be anything that says Sheriff's Department. It likes to say co-responder. The best stat that I can give, and there were several commissioners in that room, Bristol had responded to almost 900 calls where there were mental health issues, even drug issues, some dementia issues, and 9 people went to jail out of 900 calls. I thought that was staggering. One thing that they do, a co-responder can write those orders when they're having to take one to the hospital. They can write that order and have everything squared away so that officer doesn't have to sit there in the ER for hours. Go ahead, Hunter.
I have a list of people seeking recognition, so. Are you ready for?
Oh, I tried my best. I wish we could have, I didn't think it was going to be on the agenda tonight because it wasn't even in here, and then our.
Who you're looking for?
Well, we've already done her resolution.
Recognize Commissioner, did you cut it off?
I was gonna make sure you do.
And one more statement. Captain Seaboat will be here next week, but most importantly, Captain Diller from the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department, who oversees their program, will be here to talk about everything that they do and the things that they're currently doing and how successful they've been. So we'll talk about that next week. Like I said, they were here tonight, but it wasn't on the agenda in our packet, so they left. And then it was handed out, an hour later, so that's why I'm sitting here trying to explain it the best I can to you. So.
Attorney Street, you had a comment or question?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to say I am very, very pleased to see this one, and I'm a little bit surprised on number 12. I wasn't aware of it. I'm not trying to jump out in front of it by any means, but I have complained and suggested for years that the Sheriff's Department do something like this. This is a big step forward for Sullivan County. We have needed this for a long time. And like I said, I'm not trying to jump out in front of this, but I've talked and discussed this with the Sheriff's Department for many years about trying to get something like this done. It's becoming more common across the nation. So I'd like to really commend Commissioner Ward and the Sheriff's Department for getting on top of this. This, to me, is huge. Oh, I will say one other thing. And I don't mean this to go the wrong way. I'm not being smart about it, but I hope that money is really attributed to these causes and not mixed in with the general sheriff's budget.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, I hope it's spent for what it says it's going to be spent for, and not just, they've got a huge budget over there, and this could get lost.
Absolutely.
But this totals, geez, between the two of them, almost $400,000. That could make a huge difference in mental health. And as you said, it'll keep a lot of people out of jail, I believe.
Commissioner Locke.
So you said one co-responder and unit in the upper end and one in the lower end? Probably should do 2 in the upper and 2 in the lower, because these calls are through the roof.
That was discussed, but this was a good starting point.
Yep.
For the first year.
I agree with this 100%. There's a lot of sick people out there that don't belong in jail, that need help, need a hospital and medical treatment. And I'm on board for this. And if you see a success in it, I'd like to see you add another unit in the upper end, another unit in the lower end. Absolutely.
I think, and I am by no means going about to take any credit for any type of mental health going on right there. Mackenzie Cole has done a tremendous job with mental health and the things that she deals with on the inside. So what we're trying to do is to prevent some of those from getting to the inside. They're always going to be in there, and she's always going to be having to deal with that. Just part of it. They get sentenced. She does an outstanding job. Her and Christy and what they deal with. So they're both needed. But the success that Bristol's had with their program, I wish Captain Dillard could be here tonight. I'm not sure why this mistake happened, but we'll hear about it next week. Had planned on putting it on consent, but I'm not, because I want you to hear what he has to say. I think it's very important that everybody hears what they do, how successful their program has been.
Commissioner Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I was part of this committee, honored to be part of this decision, and it was a unanimous approval by all of us on the opioid committee. And looking forward to hearing that presentation next week, because it will blow your mind. I'm very thankful that we're able to do something about that. And if I could just be added as a co-sponsor on this, I really appreciate it.
If I am affirmative, will be added. Touch base on a quick story, if everybody will bear with me. There's an elderly lady. She's still here in our jail. She's 83 years old. Okay, I can actually, I answered this call, one of many, myself one day. She lives in Bloomingdale, she has dementia, okay? She thinks the garage that's across the street, that's a body shop, belongs to her, but it doesn't, okay? They've answered, I know, in 1 week, they went 4 times in 1 week, the sheriff's department was dispatched. The last time, she took a gun over to the body shop and tried to evict those guys. Luckily, nobody was injured. She was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault, and it's, man, it's heart-wrenching. But, I mean, she's charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault. We've tried, I know that lady right there, Mackenzie, has tried, we've had a lot of conversations about this, but there's a process it has to kind of go through. But we've got an 83-year-old woman that has probably some of the most severe dementia that I've seen in a while. I know Mackenzie's probably seen a whole lot worse, sitting in our jail. If we'd had that co-responder, it would have got taken care of, and she'd never made it inside the jail. When Bristol says they answered 900 calls and 9 people went to jail, wow. That's all I can say, wow. So, not only when we prevent them, we'll be preventing them from getting to the jail. So, to answer your question, we texted a little bit, won't have any MS. We'll take them to the ER ourselves. She's already made the phone calls and done the paperwork. So they won't be sitting out there for hours and hours. If she's going on a vacation or she's out sick, they can fill in. Okay? I think today we had a situation with one on suicide watch. Mackenzie's dealing with another situation. Wasn't available at the time, but she was later. That person could have went up there and took care of that and assisted in what Mackenzie does. So they'll work together. We plan on working it out of the pretrial office. They'll overlap 1 day a week, as the schedule is right now. It'll be a Wednesday. On that Wednesday, people that are on pretrial will have access to those people for any type of situation that they have to deal with. And we have a bunch of them. We have a lot of homelessness and a lot of mental health people that are on pretrial. That's how sometimes we keep them out of jail, but we put them on pretrial. Some of my people, and me being one of them, we have a hard time dealing with them because we're not trained in that. These people are, and they'll be able to assist us, so they'll be helping us through that way too, so it'll be a win-win for everybody. Any more questions?
Commissioner Iverson, just a comment more than anything on a question. I've talked with Commissioner Ward from the last couple of years about how Washington County, Tennessee uses the vast majority of their opioid money in their system.
Every time.
They use all. They help in the jail, they help people not go to jail, they help the recovery part of it. They say that they're having a high success rate because if you're out, you don't have to go to the meetings that you have to go to while you're in jail. So I agree with Attorney Street. I'm happy that you're looking inward, because I think that prevention is a whole lot better than talking to them after they're out of the jail. Preventing it on the front, having mental health inside the jail, all those things, I think is something that we really need to focus on and spend the money where the people need the help and where we can kind of make sure they get it, because they don't get to decide they don't want to.
Absolutely. We looked, I think, at both programs, what Keith Sexton's done at Washington County. Captain Dillard made some great points. He wanted those people not sitting in the office, and he wanted them in patrol cars and preventing them. And when I say Bristol, those Bristol people are coming to our jail. So if you look at it this way, you've got Bristol doing it, Sullivan County's hopefully going to be doing it real soon, and Kingsport's even talking about it. So when you look at 3 departments out of probably about 7 or 8 that bring people to our facility, it's a win-win all the way around. So But that's one reason we didn't kind of go the Washington County route. We wanted to prevent them from even getting inside. Because when we get them inside, she takes over. Man, there's so much paperwork, so many things, obstacles that you have to cross. I mean, so we want to try to prevent them from getting inside. So that's why we went that route.
Anyone else seek recognition? Commissioner Carr?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to place this on waiver of rules for next week.
Sponsor moves item number 13 to next week's regularly scheduled commission meeting, where it will be presented on waiver of rules. That brings us to the end of our resolution calendar, and just to make sure, on our consent calendar we have items. If I miss yours, let me know. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. Did I miss anybody's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11. Oh, just.
It won't be on consent.
That is right.
If it's on consent, we wouldn't even have consent.
I'm telling you what. That would have been a good one, wouldn't it? So 2 through 7 and 9 and 11. Floor is open for announcements. Just a reminder, I told a couple of commissioners before the meeting, Monday is my birthday, so I will be accepting lunch and dinner invitations for the rest of the month. So if anybody would like to take me up on that. And congratulations it's been a treat to look at this man sitting here to my left, but he's, I'm not out of order in doing this. Congratulations to you, sir, on becoming mayor-elect. Commissioner Cole and Commissioner Cross.
There will be a Memorial Day ceremony Friday, May 22nd at 10 a.m. at the Bluntville Military Park. Invite everybody to come to that. Thank you.
Commissioner Cross.
I wanted to say that the graduation of the Tennessee High School class of 2026 will be tomorrow night. I'm losing my homeroom, having 4 years. It's going to be a hard one for me to watch them go. It's been a great group, but that is tomorrow night at the Stone Castle.
Commissioner Means.
I was just going to say happy birthday to Highway Commissioner Scotty McMurray, but I think he's out of here, ain't he? Yeah. I'll give him a call and wake him up. Thank you.
Commissioner Carr.
Just a quick announcement. If anyone would like a flamingo, please let me know, because I have them out up to my ears. I'm up to my ears in flamingos. For just $3 a day, you can help a young flamingo find, in the arms of an angel. But yeah, if anyone wants a flamingo, let me know.
I can truthfully tell you, out of everything going on in politics and the world and the county at work, more people ask me about the flamingos than they did anything else. Commissioner Crosswhite.
Yes, thank you. Best news ever. I've got a brand new great granddaughter, like 6 pounds, We're excited. In Oxford.
That's not bad. Anyone else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Adjourn to Thursday nights. Thank you all.
I think I'm ready. Hey, Hannah.